Well, good morning. Okay, let's get the levels up. So, can you hear me okay,
I
Victoria?
can hear you. Can you hear me?
I sure can.
Excellent.
Good morning, Vicki.
Good morning, friend.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
We battled the blizzard to come and talk to you all today. It was kind of dicey this morning when I took the kids, and I got a little worried, but it seems like it's gone now.
Yeah, I had a drop off Gabe at 5:30 at Lincoln Way East today, and it wasn't too bad. Just got on the main highway.
Okay, welcome to the Cheeky Mom. I'm Erin, and this is my guest, Vicki Stromberg, my ride and die. She and I are going to sit here and chit chat and talk about all kinds of things. And we're just going to start right away. How we met.
Well, it was a fall afternoon on a soccer field.
Watching this tall, gangly kid kick ass on the soccer field, and that would be Gabe Stromberg. I do believe me and Isabel were bitching about politicians or something.
Something. I just was sitting off to the side by myself watching my son. I didn't really know anybody. This was the first sport he had joined, and I heard you kind of going back and forth dishing, and I'm shy, so I
totally shy.
kind of.
It reminds me of that meme where that guy is like, you find your people and he takes his chair and he flips it open. Every time I see that, I think of you, like kind of as that's how it like rolled out.
Pretty much.
And then I roped you into doing Cub Scouts.
Well, I think I heard you guys talking about
Cub
Scouts, Pack 101, and my oldest son was a part of that in the past. And my youngest, Gabe, was very interested in wanting to do it, and I was just like, it's organized chaos. I did everything to keep him away from it, and then meet you guys on the soccer field, and you're all in. So it's kind of meant to be, and
yeah, and we've been friends ever since. And it was cool because Gabe decided that he wanted to be a basketball star too.
Yeah.
And so he was like, can Jack play basketball with me? And I was like, Jack, me and Daddy do not play basketball, so you might be really bad. But like my dad said, he's like, you didn't factor in me. Your brother's pretty good too. And Jack and him were both really good on that team.
Yeah, they played Park District.
Yeah, and there was many of days that we were way hungover because sometimes pack nights meant that we had to go out for a beer afterwards.
Clear your heads.
But I'll never forget, Gabe became part of my den, and Julie and I just adored him. I mean, from the jump, because all of the other kids were like running around, beating each other up, and he's like, these children need to calm down.
He's an old soul.
Just a bit. And I'll never forget, him and I were making spaghetti in the kitchen, and he said to me, he's like, Miss Alice, I'm a 14-year-old trapped in a 7-year-old's body. And I was like, yes, you are, Gabe.
Easy.
He was just so disappointed in how bad everybody was acting.
Gabe is the baby of the block of our neighborhood, so he was raised by adults and teenagers, so therefore he thinks he's a teenager. He thought when he was in grade school his best friend was leaving for college, and he was devastated. He like tears and everything. Wrote him a letter, wrote him at his dorm. Like, he truly thought him and AJ were best friends, and he was just gutted about it.
But didn't AJ sponsor him?
Yes, he ended up being his confirmation sponsor last year as well.
So that is super cool.
Yeah, they've all taken him under and have been wonderful to him.
Well, and it was kind of like a ripple effect because of them taking care of, like, Gabe and Brett. Your kids were always so good to my kids.
Yes.
So like Brett throwing Teddy on his shoulder because Teddy was too tired. Well, Ted'll be tired about everything. Like, oh my God, I can't walk anymore. But like Brett threw him on his shoulders and took him through the zoo like almost all day.
Right. If he'd only treat his brother that way.
Well, and Ted would be like, and because we were there still when Ted was in kindergarten, and he was like, can the big kid come and read the story? I'm like, couldn't you settle for your non?
Yeah.
So, okay, next one. You, one of the things that I admire a lot about you was that you're a single mom raising 2 boys, Lobo Solo. And I always loved that about you because, I mean, especially I felt like in our park district, a lot of women were really judgy. And once they found, because that's, I think what attracted me to Isabel is that when I heard everybody going, shoo, she's divorced. I was like, oh, then I want to be friends with her because all of you are judging her and she's going to be cool as hell. So
And she is.
Yes, and she is very much so.
Yeah, not by choice. Divorced for a long time. I kind of consider myself the trailblazer of my area because now all my friends' kids are my kids' friends' parents are they're starting to, not all of them, but that divorce usually hits in the teens. Um, so yes, it wasn't common. It wasn't something that I wanted to happen.
Mm-mm.
When it did, I was fortunate enough to have this wonderful community of friends around me and neighbors who were just like, we've got you and these kids. You go do what you have to do. We're gonna make sure you make it. And at that time, I had an infant. I had a kindergartner, and I was starting nursing school. So I baptized Gabe on a Sunday in January, and the next day I started a nursing program at JJC full
Oh my
time
gosh.
and worked. But like I said, I did it with a lot of support from friends, family, and I had a wonderful friend too that actually had moved in with me. She was having some marital issues, and it was the perfect opportunity for her to take a break. So she was there, my neighbors were there, and yeah, I was
Yeah.
very lucky. So it was it was something that I could not have done by myself.
Right. Well,
Hmm.
and it is like in this society now, it's like you really did find like neighbors to help
Oh
you.
yeah, like unheard of. Like I know people that don't even know who their neighbors are.
I just know my neighbor, like Christine, because
Hmm.
like my old neighbor is because her house caught on fire.
Right.
I mean, and she was standing out there 9 months pregnant. I don't think
Hmm.
that we would have ever connected really because our kids weren't even the same age.
Right.
They
Right.
were like off a little bit. But yeah, it like in my neighborhood, I was like out there trying to be everybody's friends and getting shut
Yeah. No.
down.
You know what? When I moved on the block, I was young. I was in my 20s. We were the younger one, and we were welcomed with open arms. Um, I was pregnant when we bought the house. I had a miscarriage. And so the first summer in the house, it was just me and my ex husband. And everybody was so warm, welcoming, and they got to know us, very friendly. And, we had our family. So I was just fortunate. They told me as soon as we moved in, like how close knit this block was. A lot of original people there, but a lot have moved out now.
Yeah.
So it's not the same, but it's nice to see that it's starting to regentrify with new families
Right.
and new babies. So.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Your new neighbor just had a baby,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. There's been two babies, I think, in the last year.
Oh my
Yeah,
god. Did you get to sniff them yet?
not yet.
Just going,
Not
oh, your head's
yet.
so
I know.
smelly.
I know.
Okay, let's talk about the Cub Scouts. Okay, so
Hmm.
I conned you back into Pack 101, lured you in with
Yes.
beer, and so Gabe is still involved in it.
Yes, Gabe has crossed over and he is in Boy Scouts and he is part of troop 237 in Frankfurt Square, and right now they had all the Weeblos bridge over, so our numbers are over 600, or not, I'm sorry, 60.
Well, I was about to say.
It feels like 600 in that park
Well,
district
right.
room that we
Yeah.
stay at. I'm sorry, over 60. And
Wow,
that's
that's still impressive.
it is, and that is boys anywhere from 5th grade to 18, and then they graduate out as adults. But and they have different groups of them, but they still do all the same activities. There's the camping and that. So yes, he's stayed really involved. It's kind of his thing. Gabe has started many things, and this is the one thing that has kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Which, every year you think he's starting to slow down, and then he ends up, his passion is lit, his fire's lit one more time. So,
Well, and it's so funny because me and Gail went out on Monday after improv, and she's like, "Be sure to mention about how she always is looking for cast iron."
oh,
pots and
yeah,
pans."
yeah.
So when we hit estate sales, you're like, "Let me go to the kitchen and see if they have
Yes,
any cast
yes.
iron," because he's amazing at
Yeah,
camp cooking.
Dutch oven cooking, and actually he's not even the best. You know who is Ryland?
Oh, yeah,
which is
right.
another boy that
Yeah,
came
he's a
from
good
our
kid.
pack, our den. Yes, he is like the official uh, chef of
yeah.
the troop chef.
Cook?
Yes, cook. Yes, and they got him a special apron, hat, and everything. And what their scoutmaster did is he's created an award where it's almost a competition because they put them in different groups, 2 to 3 depending on the group, and they have to plan their own meals.
Oh,
So
wow.
the first night they go there, it's something called Cracker Barrel, cheese crackers, for the snack. Next morning, get up, they do breakfast. They may do, which could be pancakes, eggs, anything, whatever they decide. Um, Lunch is usually light, and then dinner. So he has a competition now where they judge who has the best meal, and they
Oh,
get the
nice.
golden spoon. The next den our troop night, they
That
get
is
awarded. Yeah,
awesome.
so
Yeah, because we went camping with them, but they didn't show us any of their cooking skills.
yeah,
That,
no, it's evolved. It's evolved. It's
yeah.
evolved since you guys,
I
for
was
sure.
thinking, wait, we did a lot of cooking.
No, no. And the troop's a lot larger than it was
Okay.
then. And it's amazing. The people that are volunteer their time, the adults, and everything that they give to these boys, and these boys are amazing. So it's become a really successful troop there and
Yeah.
program, and it's I'm really proud to say I'm a part of it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm glad that
Yeah.
he stayed with it.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
me too.
because I know my kids are just like bored now and then move on. Like Hazel hung up her cleats and she's going to
Yeah.
concentrate on her art. Because and it's just
Right.
I've decided that my kids are kind of like me, where they want to be like play a sport and go out for a beer afterwards. I think they have that in them. Like they
Yeah,
just want to play
yeah.
for fun. They don't want to
Yeah.
play like in this organized stuff. So when they
Yeah.
stick with something, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're going to stay with this more than 1 year. So
Right, right.
I give kudos to Gabe for sticking
Yeah,
around.
he was. He was really good at soccer, and he was just kind of like meh. And he is 6'1", and he's only a freshman, and he's totally built to be a basketball player. He won the championship with his team the first year, and it was like, I'm done. So this is kind of his jam. He loves camping. He's old enough to start these high adventure camps. Last year, he went to the summit in West Virginia. It looked absolutely beautiful. I swear he came back as a changed child, just rejuvenated. And this year, he's going to be going 10 days via Amtrak to New Mexico, and they're going to be hiking through
Wow.
Philmont Mountains. And yeah, they're going to do at least 50 miles, and they will sleep and camp on the actual trail and have days in between where they hit a base camp, reload.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, and there's beers and all that stuff. I was like,
Bring back a bear.
yeah.
Well, that's cool that
Yeah.
they're taking Amtrak,
Oh
though.
yeah, they're going to take the Amtrak, and I've already put the deposit down for next year. He will be going to Sea Base, where he will go to the Florida Keys, and the crew that what the program that they were lotteried, where they will all be on ships for the 10 days, and they will snorkel. It's one of the most renowned reefs in the actually country, and so they will be studying all this stuff there.
Are you
And they actually
volunteering?
said, nope.
I think I need to go with you.
I said it's Key West too, and
Yeah.
I just came from Key West. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'll do it my way, you do it your way. Like, we will give you plenty of Dramamine, whatever you need, because
Yeah, I don't think I could do that.
I'm on a booze cruise. You will be on a Boy Scout ship. I choose me.
Your booze cruise goes right by. Hey,
Pretty much.
that is just awesome. Like, I mean, and so it's like he gets to try all these different things.
Yeah, he would never have these experiences. And
Right.
I mean, it's nothing that I could afford if I would have had and tried to put this stuff together
Well,
as a
right.
family. Yeah, nor would I want to hike 50 miles and mountains.
I can't
and things. Oh no.
I can't see Brett
You know
wanting
me.
to do that either.
Yeah, I know. He's all down for fishing. He would be for deep sea fishing and the Keys thing, but yeah.
But he had that opportunity too, didn't he?
No,
Oh.
because he was in Boy Scout.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to good old Brett.
Yeah.
Your oldest.
My oldest, Brett Stromberg.
I love that
him.
kid. He's a
He's
good kid.
boy. He's a good boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, my oldest is 19, and he graduated from Lincoln Way East 2 years ago. It will be May. I know, it's
2
been a
years
while.
ago.
It's been a while, and we discovered by the end of sophomore year he probably was not university bound.
Nope.
You know, his grades weren't there. It almost got to the point like, what do we need to do to graduate and figure out what we're going to do for a living? And he's always been a hard worker. He's always been able to put anything together. He has that patience. And So once I realized we didn't need to take a foreign language because we weren't going to university, we started filling his classes with tech ed class, woodworking, small motor engines, auto, welding, you name it. If the kid had an empty spot and he was interested in it, he did it. Blueprint reading. So he really took to welding and he was kind of good at it, and he had this wonderful instructor, and we happened to live in an area where local 597, the pipe fitters, are right our neighbors, and they would come in and they would sponsor these competitions, and they would kind of speak to these boys talking about the career, how they are low. They have all these people that have been working for a very long time and need to retire, and how much work there is, and they really need help in the trades, and how much you can make for a living, and how to do it. So they groomed him on, hey, if you're serious, this is what you need to do. Every Wednesday, there's an application. Come fill it out. It's going to tell you what's required. Hand it in. You'll get on a list. You'll take an exam in a couple of months. You want to get this grade. Once you get this grade, you'll be put on a waiting list, and then as your number comes, you'll get asked to class. So Brett graduated in May or end of June, or end of May, June. Turned in his app June, got a call in July, took his exam in August. Okay. He actually didn't like his score because he thought he could do better, so he put in another app to retest. And in that time, from August to the 1st of October, they called him with an opportunity to join this hybrid program where it would be 3 months long. He wouldn't get paid, but they would certify him, and then he could work and be in the union. So he got a call in October, started October 16th, went out to Aurora till February, March, and the kid had a job before he even left the school.
And that's so crazy.
Yes,
because
so he's been in the union. He's a first year. He actually started his classes, so he will be considered a second year, he told me, in July now. But he's been working for...
Yeah,
he's been working and making a lot of money, saving a lot of money, because he's 19 and lives at home.
Right.
And mom told him, save his money. You're taking care of me one day. Kidding.
Because he's the nice. He will.
Yeah, Gabe told me, don't worry, he'll find the nicest nursing home for me. Brett, I'm pretty sure he'd keep me.
Yeah, Brett will put a pod in the backyard for you. He'll build the pod.
Yeah. But, I remember, and he just brought this up recently, I'm in a school district where they... have this prestigious kind of reputation of our kids get this on the ACTs, this much above average of the state, and this percentage goes to college. Well, when it was senior year, my son had to get pulled in with the counselor and said, okay, what's your plans? What's your college plans? And he said, well, I'm going to go to the trades. I think I'm going to be a pipe fitter. I'm pretty sure that's what I like, but, I'm not going to college. And she just turned and looked at him and asked, are your parents okay with this? And, and he's like, yeah. And at that time, I was going through a health crisis. And he came home. And he told me, and I just remember being so infuriated. But like I said, I was having some health issues where if I wasn't, I would have called that school and just torn into her.
Terribly,
and
that's like one of the things that I admire about you is because you did, like when he said, we kind of knew that he wasn't college bound, but at the same time, you weren't like, no, you're going to go to college, you're going to go through the motions. And And now it's so damn expensive.
It is. And it's like, he would have been going to the junior college, taking his basic gen ed classes. And I'm like, you don't even like taking them in high school. They only get harder here. And now you got to pay for them. It just makes no sense. Where the junior college did have some kind of a welding program. So if he didn't get in, that's where he was going to be headed, at least to get some kind of skill on top of what he learned in high school. But he was very fortunate. I'm very proud of him because I come from a blue collar family, pretty much, but nobody is in the union. My father was a he was a military police officer, and then he worked for GM as a security guard, and he was a foreman then on the floor. My mom graduated high school. She went to Capri Beauty School. She was a hairdresser, and then they had us and took care of all of us. So, my brother works for People's Gas. My uncle had gotten him into that job, but nobody really in the union and the trade. So he did. This was something that he really wanted, and I give kudos to Lincoln Way School District and their program by having these people actually come in and tell them what they need to do. So this kid did it. He did exactly what they told him on his own. It wasn't me holding his hand, and here he is.
That's why I was so excited when I went to Jack's orientation for high school, and I was like, oh my God, Vicki, they have it here too.
Yeah.
Like, I was like so proud of Crown Point for actually having, like, you can do 4 tracks, like in Crown Point. You can go to the military, you can go to college, you can go towards the trades, and then they have just graduate. You just want to graduate. So I think it's just so awesome that this is a thing now. And I just reconnected with a guy that I went to grade school and junior high with, and he has a podcast about it and stuff like that.
That's cool. Yeah, you did send it. I'll have to listen to it. I know you sent it over. I started watching the first minute of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I should get him on here too, because I mean, he's talking about it too. It's like, and it is true that they're retiring now. What are we going to do?
They are, and once my son, he looks older than he is, especially because once he joined pipe fitters, he's got this scruffy beard. Because otherwise, when he shaves, he's a complete baby face. So when he goes to a new job and they find out that he's just 19, they just kind of drool. They're like, you are one lucky MFer. Do you live at home? Yeah. Is your mama looking after your money? Yeah, don't blow it. Save your money. When you retire, you're going to be a millionaire because, make sure you get in this 401k. Like, they tell him everything, how it is. They love sinking into him.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them don't figure it out or didn't get in until they were in their 20-something.
Yeah.
So to be a kid that actually got a call at 18, he's an early, he's a late baby. He's August, so 18, and then in August, and then called to start this program in October. The kid's gonna be set, and he truly loves what he does. He does, and he learns a lot. And when he gets sent to a different employer, and that's just the jobs. I always say, stay positive. Like, you're like a sponge. You're learning so much. You make these contacts. You meet these people. You're so young.
Well, and also what he did experience his first
layoff. Yeah. Just recently, and he was, it was funny because he was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. He's talking to our dog, Walter. I don't know, Walter. I don't know how I'm going to make it now that I'm unemployed, and what am I going to do with myself? That lasted a week.
Yeah, right.
He was called up and sent to the next place. Nice. So, yeah.
But it is like a kind of a, hey, this is a life lesson right now.
No, yeah, like, get used to it. And the only reason why you probably got picked up that young or that little bit of time is because you're so cheap. You're the cheap labor. Now, when you start making the big money after the 5 years, you'll be sitting a lot longer.
With Walter.
Right. and to realize, hey, you got to save your money. No job's guaranteed. And, make sure you make a plan accordingly.
And pay your phone bill.
Yeah. So that's our deal. He gets to stay home with me, save his money, and he wants the Verizon plan. He gets to pay for the Verizon plan.
Okay, we're going to break for a commercial, and when we come back, we'll talk about your favorite son, Walter.
Oh, yes, number one.
The love of your life. Okay, hold, and here comes some commercials your way.
Is a dentist to the stars. Her wealth of knowledge in the area of pain management, plus her ability to communicate the process, makes you feel like a star. The practice is growing for all the right reasons. Call and set up an appointment before her client book is full. Call 219-322-4036 and tell them you heard about it right here on Ron Harlow Media. Dr. Tori's Dental Shop is located at 130 East Joliet Street in Cherville at 219-322-4036. Call and feel better about every dental visit you ever have again.
Spend the holidays with us in downtown Hammond, Indiana. You'll have a fun and festive time while supporting small and local businesses. Enjoy shopping, dining, brewery, the arts, and events. Like and visit the Downtown Hammond Council on Facebook for a listing of where to go and what to do. Call Karen at 219-512-4298 between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. Hammond is happening.
Looking for a friend who knows how to be a good listener? Humane Indiana in Munster has four-legged friends waiting to meet you. Open daily at 11 a.m., Humane Indiana provides many animal services from rescue to daily care. They provide on-site education while managing a wildlife preserve. At the main facility located at 421 45th Street, the staff awaits your visit. Ron Harlow Media would like to thank Director Brian Fitzpatrick and Board Vice President Scott Filler from Apex Construction and Remodeling for their support. Visit Humane Indiana and leave with a new member of the family. To find out more, visit the Humane Indiana website or dial 219-922-3811.
We are taking the hassle out of holiday shopping at It's Just Serendipity. Gifts for everyone on your shopping list for every budget. We carry everything vintage and antique, handcrafted, upcycled, and repurposed goods by local artists, yummies prepared by local vendors such as honey, toffee, and biscotti. Carry decor, memorabilia, and custom gift baskets. Shop small with us at 5630 Holman Avenue in downtown Hammond, Indiana. Like It's Just Serendipity on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, or visit our website, itsjustserendipity.com.
Experience Broadway in Northwest Indiana. Established as the top provider of entertainment, Theater at the Center in Munster brings you the best in live theater, music, and comedy without city prices and parking hassle. With its elegant setting and superb talent, Theater at the Center in the Round makes each production must-see. 5-star dining is optional for select shows in each of the Thursday night performances. For show dates, times, and prices, visit theateratthecenter.com or call 219-836-3255. Ask about becoming a subscriber. Discounted tickets and priority seating are just a few of the benefits you'll receive. Call 219-836-3255. Theater at the Center. You'll leave impressed. Now listen to Harlow tell you about what's on stage right now. Since 1964, Springer Realty has been helping homeowners save thousands when buying or selling their home. Springer Realty is locally owned, provides full service start to finish, and will handle all the paperwork and details. Why pay those high commissions in a seller's market when one phone call can literally save you thousands? Visit us at SpringerSellsHomes.com or call 219-838-0180. Springer Realty.
Okay, we are back. I'm not Ron Harlow, but I will tell you about Almost Heaven. Almost Heaven is playing until March 22nd. And my neighbor just went to it yesterday. I haven't talked to her yet, but she's a huge John Denver fan. So she was so excited. And she doesn't get out much. Like, she doesn't like to drive places, especially when we have a blizzard coming through. And so she was like, I'm going through the blizzard. I am going to see that. I love me some John Denver.
I love him too.
So yeah, you should go. It is running until the 22nd. If you want tickets and you didn't catch it in the ad, it is 219-836-3255 or go to theateratthecenter.com and get your tickets. Also, I have to promote March 18th. Jeff Detlow will be here, and he is with Springer Realty, so they're another one of our sponsors. He and I are going to try different beers in the area, so please tune in on March 18th. It's our spring break edition. So I was supposed to give a little shout out, so you mark your calendars. I hope he's going to be okay, because the day before is St. Patrick's Day, and green beer and whatnot runs through you. I don't know. We'll see how it all, but it's on a Tuesday, so
He can rally.
Yeah, he can totally rally. He could hang with us.
All right.
Okay, well, let's get back to Victoria.
All right.
Let's talk about your favorite son, Walter.
Number one son, Walter von Shijan. Walter is my 5-year-old Shijan. He's a teddy bear puppy. He's a hybrid. And that's fancy for mutt. Half Shih Tzu, half Bichon Frise. And I got Walter for Christmas one year in 2014, I believe. And I had a pretty bad injury and some health issues where I was at home. I was off of work, kind of lonely. I've always taken care of babies because I was a NICU nursery nurse and my kids. And yeah, so I was at home alone by myself, not knowing what to do with myself, kind of down low, probably one of the lowest I've been in a long time, and or ever rather. And I said one day, you know what? I want a dog and I want it for Christmas, and I don't care if I don't get anything forever for the rest of my life. Like, I need a dog. I need a companion, this and that. And I was a person that was like, no, I was raised with dogs, a lot of dogs. My dad even bred dogs. He showed dogs, Great Danes, boxers. You know, dogs were a part of my growing up. But I was just like, that is one more thing in this house that I don't need to take care of because, you know, I worked full time. My kids, they were in sports and activities. Like, we don't have time. Plus, I like to vacation, and who's going to take care of the dog? But I did a complete, like, 360 on it and was like, I need a dog. So, yes, I started Googling Shih Tzus, and this ad came up from Oodle Dogs. Got in contact with this woman, and next thing we know, we are in the parking lot of the Sears in Woodfield Mall, picking out a dog out of the back of a transit van.
There you go.
And he's been the love of my life since.
Yes, and he's your assistant when you're working at home?
He is my assistant. I work at home, and he has a chair right next to me, and he takes all the naps for me.
I'll ask her. I'd be like, how's your assistant doing? Every picture, snoring away with his little face in a pillow.
Yeah, wrapped in a blanket. But he kind of healed me and my family. My boys always wanted a dog, so they love him. They don't care that it's a little girly dog. Plus, we had to get a hypoallergenic dog with Brett's allergies. So, yeah, now the push is like, we need one more. My oldest will say, I need one who will love me. Because, you know, at the end of the day, he's always with me.
Right, right. Night, so. And we felt like that when my mom got this little puppy. Because my mom finally caved and got a dog when I was in high school. And we were like, oh my God, we actually have a dog. I mean, this is so cool. And Anna just wanted to be with my mom. So my mom threw us a bone and she got Kelly. And then it was like, Kelly was the family dog.
Yeah.
So, and she was amazing. She was, I mean, the best dog ever. But yeah, I love, like, all of a sudden you'll send me a picture and be like, here's Walter's Walter's therapy dog.
Yes. So maybe one day.
Yeah. But will he like that, do you think?
I don't think he cares. Walter knows he's number one. He's superior. I don't think he cares or will have anything to do with it. Right. Sometimes I'm like, oh, no, we can't do that to Walter. You know, but I don't think he really will care.
No.
Because whenever I bring him around other dogs, he pretty much wants nothing to do with them.
Okay. Well, and he does know his place because
he does.
Because you tell him all the time.
Oh, yeah.
He's the favorite.
Yes, he
and
is.
That bothers Gabe to no end.
You love that dog more than me. I'm like, he's here for a lesser time. So every birthday, Gabe's like, that's 1 year closer to death, you know?
I will be favorite someday.
No.
Okay, let's talk about you working from home. You were a nurse.
Yep, I was a nursery nurse, NICU level 2+ nurse. We were trained. I was trained at the hospital, and then when we up levels, we were super partners with Lori's Children's Hospital downtown, so I would get my training there and then bring it back to my hospital. I loved that job. It was the best job ever. I didn't know I was going to be a nursery nurse. I always thought I was going to be an L&D nurse. My favorite cousin, I watched her graduate when I was in 5th grade from nursing school, and from that point on, I knew I wanted to be a nurse. She was an L&D nurse, and that was exactly what I was going to do. So life has a funny way. By the time I got into nursing school and I got into a hospital, I got into a student nurse program, and I pretty much just begged at the interview, like, I love babies. I want to be an OB. You need to hire me on this floor. And they said, there you go. She's all yours. So they gave me a job there. I thought for sure I would be an L&D nurse by the time I graduated and got my RN. And by the time that happened, there were no openings on L&D. but they wanted to keep me. And they said, you know what? There is a nursery opening and we think you can handle it. Are you interested? And they didn't put new graduates in the nursery.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, really? Me? You think me? And I remember my supervisor, Lexi, and I tell her this day, God love her, like, thank you so much. You, like, opened my whole,
right,
opportunity. And I said, yeah, I'll take it if you think I can do it. And I had the most awesome group of women that trained me. And I just really loved it. And I couldn't imagine doing anything differently. So, yeah, I was a nursery nurse. And people think that all you do is change diapers, weigh babies, and rock them, and not so much. My hospital went to every delivery. When there was a high risk, you called the pediatrician. When a kid was really crashing and it needed to be transferred out, you took care of it until the helicopter came or the ambulance, and you kept the baby stable, and then they take it downtown. But it was a great job, so rewarding. In the beginning, I thought, wow, this is going to be really stressful, so much to learn, and, like the first year is going to be really rough. No, you're always learning, and no day is the same, and you never know what's going to happen,
Right.
When the poop hits the fan, it hits the fan, and you don't know when it's coming. But, it was a great job. So I had to leave that job because I had an injury. I can no longer do floor nursing. And that was really sad for me because I did not realize, I never thought, you always hear people say, oh, you're identified by what you do. I'm like, nah, I'm not like that.
Yeah.
I'm Vicki Stromberg. I'm Rich Glass's daughter. I'm, a mom. I'm a nurse. I'm a friend. I'm this. And then when I couldn't do anymore, I was like, who am I? What am I?
Yeah.
No secrets.
I was there, but
you were there. No secrets. I was very lost, lost, very, very sad, very depressed. But eventually, unfortunately, something more serious happened, and it puts things in perspective. And I am very fortunate where I had a group of friends who went ahead and started working for an insurance company, and they worked from home. And they happened to be hiring when I was asking. So I got picked up by an insurance company, and I worked downtown for about 6 months until I learned the job. And from there, I was deployed at home. So I have a home office in my downstairs, and some days I don't even get out of my pajamas. But,
or shower.
Yeah.
Because
no.
you're like, Erin, I don't know when the last time I
Yeah,
showered.
I'll be like, is it Sunday? It's Tuesday. I know I did Sunday. But anyways, it is a great job, though. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoy it, rather. I did not realize how much I would enjoy it. Because I still have contact with people, even though it's not that face-to-face. It's on the telephone. And, so I triage people that call in, answer any questions. If I get something, say, like Gail, we all know she had a knee.
Yeah.
So I see that you're going in for surgery. I'll give you a call, make sure all your ducks are in order. You understand what's happening. Any questions? Do you need help getting an appointment? How are you getting to your appointments afterwards? Who's at home to take care of you? All these things that, some people take for granted, but not everybody has.
Yeah.
And we then have resources. And then, again, discharge. If I see you're in the hospital, I give you a call. How are you? What happened? How are you doing now? What did they tell you you need to do? Did they go over your discharge? Do you have any questions? Do you need help?
Yeah.
Do you need help getting anything taken care of? And then following up. So you do build a really nice relationship with some of these people, and they are truly grateful. So I do feel like I am helping them.
Well, and you're doing your nursing.
Yeah. And I'm back to my nursing. It's just a different level.
Right.
That I didn't realize that I would enjoy, but I do. And you know what? It's not just NICU either. It's kind of brought in the whole thing.
Right.
Of nursing. So, and that's always good. And I'm kind of one that knowledge is power. I love to learn.
Yeah.
So Yeah.
And I mean, you took to it so quick too.
Yeah,
Like
I
I
enjoy
was
it.
like, oh, this is great. This is great. And then you were like, I love it. This is
Yeah,
good. This is
yeah.
great. And then when you get to stay home and not have to,
Oh. And it happened right before Christmas. I was like, Merry Christmas to me, you know?
I know, I'm
Yeah.
like, you don't have to ride the train in the crappy weather anymore.
Thank goodness. It was a blessing.
But then you got off the train and went on pedways. I don't
Yeah,
think you saw.
no, honestly, I did not have it rough at all.
No.
I went right into Millennium Station. I stayed underground and just shot across the street to the basement entrance.
So yeah, so you get to do that. You still get to be a nurse,
Yes.
and that's what was the
Right.
coolest thing about it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, and I do. I do enjoy it. I do.
yeah, and you get to be home with Walter.
Yeah, and my kids, and I've had several bosses now, but they're all very flexible. They understand family. A lot of them have family, so they're willing to work around you. Not that you take advantage, but hey, you need to take a couple hours because you have a doctor's appointment or you got to take a kid to the doctor. You can make it up. You can put it in. You can use whatever. They're very accommodating. They're very a very nice group of people.
Well, and like Gabe, that one summer
Yeah,
from hell
yeah.
where he broke his, burnt his finger, whatever. He was a train wreck.
He broke
so.
his arm for the second year in a row. Yeah.
Yeah, Gabe keeps you on your toes. Good thing you're a nurse. Well, and you're like my nurse too, because when my dad was dying and stuff, it sucked to begin with, but then it's like you're in a cloud when everybody's talking to you.
Right.
So it's nice that I was like, oh, hey Vic, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
What do you think is what do you think is going on? And you could like put it in layman's terms, like, okay, this is what
Right.
his levels are down here, and that helped out tremendously because it's kind of like it sucked to begin with, and then I didn't want to ask questions. That's like the last thing.
That's a lot of people, and
Yeah.
they're intimidated. They think the doctor's busy. He knows what he's doing, so you don't need to ask. He just needs to tell you, and you have to believe in him. But then when he walks away, and you're like, well, I really don't know what's going on.
Right.
And being in the hospital as a nurse, I've seen that, so I understand that. And that's just
Well, and not to mention, it's kind of like, I didn't want to, like, my dad is sitting right there. I don't want to be like, so.
Over him.
Yeah, is his kidneys failing yet? Or,
Right,
like, I didn't want to
right.
talk to, like, he's there.
Right.
So it was nice to be like, come home and be like, okay, Vic, this is what's going on.
And especially that generation, they don't question the doctor.
No.
They just sit there, listen, stare, and yeah.
Yeah. So that was another wonderful tribute that you gave to me and my
Yeah.
family. Okay, well, let's change gears.
All
Let's
right.
talk about girls' trips.
Which one?
Well, so I had never ever gone. Well, okay, so
Oh, dear Lord.
let's rewind. I had never really gone on a girls' trip because Hazel was so much
True
younger.
story.
And when I did go, we went like scrapbooking somewhere, and
Boring.
I
Not
brought
with me.
I brought like a cooler of beer, and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna drink, and they're like, how are we gonna scrapbook if you're drunk? So just-
Whatever friends you were hanging out
yeah,
with.
well, they're gone. So it was my birthday, and I was like, damn it, I want to go and do something super fun. So I grabbed the 3 people that are like my rocks at the
core.
time. Yeah, my
Yeah.
core. And I said, you guys, let's go drink in Michigan. I just want to go and drink a bunch of beer in Michigan.
I'm like, hallelujah.
We're going to rip you away from your family. We're actually going to go and have fun. So we rented a townhouse, which we didn't realize was by a train. So at 3 a.m., you're like, the whole house is
Good
moving.
Lord. If you weren't passed out, you were woken up by it. Which one morning I did not hear.
Well, not to mention they had a hot tub, and I was like, oh, it'd be so cool.
Lord.
We all 4 of us are in the hot tub. We all get up, and like all of the water is gone.
It was, mind you, though, it was like that cheap $500 one at All American Sales, that like really 2 people should be in.
Yeah, and we're forcing
It was
issue.
close to inflatable.
But yeah, that's just started like our tour of like breweries.
Breweries and wineries.
Yes.
Yeah. But mainly breweries. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love the wine. But
Yeah, I could take it or leave it. I could do the beer all day long. But
all day.
but
my dream trip is Napa. If anyone wants to go, let me know.
So what was really cool was that we found an area. I mean, we didn't even go that far. I mean, because we didn't go as far as I thought it was going to be. We were just like over the border, literally. But it gave us time to, it didn't take us too long to get home when we were hungover on Sunday.
No, it was the perfect amount of time.
And then we had like the most gorgeous weekend.
It was beautiful. And I am a White Sox fan, and I'm not going to apologize for that, but I am a huge Chicago fan, and Anthony Rizzo, and that was the time that the Cubs won the World Series. And I told you had just lost your dad, and the season was starting, and I said, you know what? You need to start watching them because they're going to win this year. And that was the fall. They won the World Series and the parade and everything. So we were kind of like on a celebration tour with our Cubs shirt.
Now, did we get Julie to wear? Because Julie is my roommate from college, and she was one of the girls that came with us. Well, she's part of our core now.
Yes, yes.
She. By far, the three of us are constant, but she
Wolfpack.
she's a Cardinals fan. So, but I do think she had a Cubs shirt.
She may have. I don't know. I just remember the picture of her trying to eat the grapes.
Well, of course.
Anyways.
When Julie gets drunk, she's fun.
But it was a lot of fun because we were on this Michigan beer wine trail, and there were all these Cubs fans, and they were wearing their Cubs gear too. Since like we weren't there at the parade, but everyone was celebrating, and it was just a huge party, and the weather was gorgeous.
I mean, for November, it was like
insane.
It was like in the 60s.
Yeah,
because we didn't have coats.
No, we were wearing T-shirts at one point.
We had our Cubs shirts on.
Yeah, that was a great time.
Yeah, that was a good time. But then we followed it up because, I mean, how do you top that? Oh, wait, no, we didn't. Did we go to...
We went to the Bourbon Trail. That's how we topped that off.
Well, I thought we went down to visit Julie first.
We may have, yes.
We did the Indy breweries because Julie lives in Indy. So we stayed with Julie, and we did then
we created a monster, and then Aaron wanted more.
I was like, why are we going every month somewhere to drink?
So I think that fall we ended up going down to Indy, or was it?
Remember, it was February, and we had another beautiful day. It was like 70 degrees.
We were in a beer garden, wanting to be in shorts. Yeah.
Well, that was the picture that I posted. That was us at one of the. It
was a cool backyard. I don't know. They all blend.
They did all blend. But then we did the Bourbon Trail, which was amazing. That was so much fun, and just the history alone was like super cool. But,
and you're all three of us. We love history too.
Yes.
We actually do try to learn things when we go. But it was just so rich in history, and even the B&B you landed us in. Though it was fabulous, it was pretty cool, the history. And
if you just put blinders on as you're driving through a horrible neighborhood and behind a gas station, all of a sudden you come upon this plantation, and it was it used to be a plantation. It was so nice. We had our own little house.
Yeah.
We had, because nobody else was staying there, because I think we went in January or February again, and no one was doing it. So we had like the whole house, like this whole little house to ourselves. And then we go to the main house for breakfast,
where they serve you dessert.
Dessert breakfast was a whole new term for us.
Todd.
I still get emails from him. Please come back and visit us.
Eyebrows on point.
Yes, totally.
Chest hair.
And we're like, why don't you come with us today? He's like, oh, stop. I mean, he was so awesome.
Yeah, and they would give us great tips of where to go. Don't waste your time.
Yeah, he was amazing. Like, he was like, don't go to that distillery, or don't go to that.
Don't get lost in the gift shops, because there's no sales in that gift shop.
Right.
Got you, Todd.
Yeah, so we completed the Bourbon Trail.
Oh, Erin was on a mission.
I was on I'm telling you, give me
this
a
girl
passport.
a passport, and she's not going until it's done, and she's got her T-shirt.
I gotta get my free T-shirt. You know what? I wore it to bed last night because
it's a great night shirt.
Yes, it is, because they were ginormous.
With it, yes.
I mean, and ginormous for me is pretty ginormous.
No, they were big.
Yeah, so that was an awesome trip.
It was phenomenal. It was a great time, and like you said, the history was just so rich. Even the art, because the Chihuly, that's when I fell in love at Maker's Mark.
That was the best tour.
That was Charles Y'all, kindergarten teacher, first grade teacher. He is a phenomenal tour guide. But we just laughed our asses off and had so much fun.
And that's when we had What is that?
Burgoo.
Burgoo.
We went to the restaurant where the gun holes in the wall, or the holes in
Yes.
the wall from Jesse James or something. I don't know. That was another history lesson. That was towards the end of the day, though.
Yeah, we're just like, let's eat and go back home and die. But yeah, that was where we first had burgoo.
It was amazing.
I know. Julie missed out because she's a vegetarian. She just dropped that vegetarian
Can't
thing.
do it. Sorry.
Gotta have Mark burgoo.
Seriously.
And then we've gone to, Milwaukee was another great trip.
Milwaukee was fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course, Gabe tried to put a kibosh on Milwaukee.
Damn that kid.
But you drove up to Milwaukee
I
and
did.
met.
I rallied. I was such a crab. I was just like, why are you trying to cramp my style? But no, kid fell off the bike, told me he was fine, went to bed, woke up, and his arm was completely blown up. I'm on orientation. I got to get a train to get downtown Chicago. I'm supposed to be taking the Amtrak at the same time after work to Milwaukee to meet my girls. No, I got to go to the Oaks and get this kid x-rayed, where sure enough it's broken. But everything worked out where I was able to meet up with you in the evening. And
me and Julie went on a tour of the Jelly Belly
Oh, you guys were so sick. You said your stomachs were so sore.
Oh my God, it was a fun tour. If the kid, we were the only adults, I think, that weren't with children there. But I was like, we're riding on a cart. This is so much fun.
She's sending me pictures. I'm like, oh, good God. But I did get some Jelly Bellies out of it, so I can't
we
even complain.
hooked you up.
Yeah, you did.
I think we got you the champagne ones too, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
But then that whole trip was just amazing. I think that probably was my favorite girls trip because of the fact that I'm sorry, I got to play Laverne at the lake.
Oh, Lakeshore Brewery.
Yes.
If you haven't been, they need to sponsor us.
Yes.
That
Us.
is
I
a
like
good
how
you.
She's part of Ron Harlow Media now.
you. But us, you know. Yeah, that was an amazing tour. That was so much fun, and they gave you so many beer coins to cash in, but they have the original line from the Laverne and Shirley bottle. I forgot what they said that company is, but Aaron got to reenact.
I got to be Laverne
with the glove and everything.
And it was like, does anyone want to be Laverne?
We're gonna do it.
I wasn't even drunk yet. That was the first tour of the day.
No.
I knocked down bitches to be up there. I'm Laverne.
We had one beer or a road soda to go through the place, and you're like,
I am going to be Laverne. I've dreamt of this moment for my whole life.
Yeah.
And I'm texting Megan. I'm like, Meg, I got to be Laverne because we used to play Laverne and Shirley. So then we got to see Henry Winkler's thing, which was kind of a disappointment.
He's so short.
Yeah,
it was such a tiny little statue.
I know. We had to even all crouch down to make it look better. Yeah. But we went on the Pabst Blue Ribbon tour too, which was
phenomenal.
Amazing.
Because to see and to learn that history and to see how they just cleared that place out and it's still like how it is, like with time cards still hanging there.
Like people's key cards still on their desks.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, it was 1989 or something. They're like, welcome to work. Goodbye. We're shutting it down.
And we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was awesome. And that is probably the best gift shop I've ever been to.
I think that's the most I spent.
And I want to go back because I told my people that will be my Christmas gift to everyone. The little bear bag koozie.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I'm going there.
Yeah, we got these bags. They look like brown bags, and they're koozies.
They were insulated with foam, and you put your tall boy in it. It's phenomenal. A PBR tall boy, you crack it open, and it had it on there. Golden.
Yeah. You know what? I think we'll have to go back.
It's calling me.
I think Sarah would be down for going to there too.
Awesome.
Awesome. Oh, and we're taking Ron Harlow too. No.
Break.
Yes, Ron's telling me I have to take another break.
If we must.
If we must. Okay, no more fun on girl trips. When we come back, I'm going to see do you want to stick around for for Fox Sakes? Because
for
you
Fox Sakes.
So you have a teenage son, Gabe, and so we're going to talk about like how to deal with
19 and 15. Yes, no one told me.
Yes, well, and that's why this is like really kind of cool. But I mean. I think it's for other people, not us. And I printed it out big because me and Vic both have bad eyes.
Well, I've got my progressives on.
We'll be fine. But yeah, so We're going to take a break, and when we get, I'm too busy having fun. I'm sorry. When we get back, we will talk more about how to deal with a teenage son on my segment For Fox's Sakes. Okay.
Activity can be anything from taking a walk to your favorite neighborhood deli to picking up a game of soccer with your friends. But most importantly, bringing a playful mindset to everyday life can elevate your mood, increase your energy, and your thirst for life. I'm Crystal, the Playful Trainer. I'm a health, life, and fitness coach. It's my passion to help you find playful ways to get you active, achieve your health goals, and live a more fulfilling life. My new book, The Playful Journal, has been featured on the Make My Day podcast, TuneIn radio show, and in the Northwest Indiana Times. I'm available for individual, group, and online coaching, or I'd love to speak at your next event. You can find me at theplayfultrainer.com or on Facebook or Instagram. Stay playful.
Who's ready for a Polish? Stop by our bigger, better location at 918 Carroll Street in Roxana, East Chicago. With our expanding menu, Big Frank Sausage has drinks for all ages. So tell us you heard it here right on Ron Harlow Media and receive $1 off any beverage of your choice. We now have craft beers, Żywiec Okochum on tap, as well as delicious new appetizers and homemade corn dogs. Family dining and catering available. Look for our booth locations and events on our Facebook page. Call ahead to order or to hear more about us at 219-378-9556. You'll rave about our Sunday brunch from 11 to 5. Come sit in our lengthy bar and enjoy all of our favorite sporting events. Big Frank Sausage, as seen on Chicago's best. Great food, great sports, great entertainment. Smacznego i na zdrowie.
Baxter Printing, located at 3837 Ridge Road in Highland, is a family-owned and operated union print shop that has been serving Lake and Porter County for over 50 years. The dedicated and experienced staff is well-equipped to assist you every step of the way. From business forms to political campaign literature, signs and mailers, Baxter Printing's quality, service, and price are unparalleled. We'll make sure you are satisfied and that nothing is misprinted. Call the best union shop in the region at 219-923-1999 today and find out what Baxter Printing can do for you. Again, that number is 219-923-1999.
Quality craftsmanship since 1952. Kadar's Woodshop is the top builder of custom cabinets for over 60 years. If you're in need of a refinish or some repair, Kadar's Woodshop is a phone call away. The Kadar reputation is well known across Chicagoland and continues to provide excellent service from design, build, to installation. Let the experts show what's possible and you decide. Call 219-884-7404 and set up a free consultation. Talk to the boss at 219-884-7404. Gene and Connie Kadar are Kadar's Woodshop, the region's quality standard.
Okay, we ran out of commercials, so hold on. I gotta put us back on the screen. Okay, there we are.
All right.
And then we gotta turn us down a little bit. We're a little pitchy.
Are we? Okay.
Okay. So this is the for Fox's Sakes portion of the show.
I almost brought my mug.
I
That says 0 foxes on it. I drink coffee
I
out
do
of it
have
all
a
day.
mug that's
Yeah.
Megan bought it for Mike for Christmas that says For Fox's Sakes. My good friend Judy is coming up with a cute little logo, so that will appear
that
on
will
the
be
screen.
very cute.
Yeah, it'll appear on the screen right before I come
She's the
back.
one that did your cheeky mom one.
Judy is the one that did my cheeky mom. She'll be on my show in the second week in March. Next week, Gail will be coming back because I didn't get to interview her. We just did questions and I was all nervous and crazy and whatever. So she wants to come back and we're going to interview her and we're going to find out more about Gail and her crazy life. So, okay, let's talk about how to deal with your teen son.
There is no rule book or manual.
We could crate them until they're 20 and then just kick them out, right? No? Okay.
They
All
don't
right.
leave now.
Okay. So they have top 11 things to talk to or to deal with your teen. Obviously, this was written for the amateurs and not us. Number 1, they need you to listen.
No kidding.
Oh my gosh. I think Jack is more like blah 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 than Hazel some days.
I told you, 8th grade sucks. They think they are king of the hill.
Yes.
And they are hot shit. And until they hit freshman year where they are nothing, you're going to have that.
Well, and it's like...
Even with my good kid, Brett was a little mouthy at that time.
Yeah. I could...
Mm-hmm. Remember me telling you?
Yeah. And, well, and I think what also it is that, like, if he's, like, telling us, like, big news that happened in school, and me and Mike are, like, make a joke or something about it, he gets really crabby and frustrated. Like, fine, I'll never talk to you guys again. And I'm like...
Funny.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I guess I need to...
Brett is kind of like that. Why are you being mean? And I'm just like,
yeah.
Relax. I'm joking.
I'm like, you grew up with my sarcasm. Why are you
Seriously,
shocked tonight at
you
dinner?
would never make it in the glass house.
Okay, number 2. They need you to teach them it's not all about them. Oh, I don't think our kids suffer from that.
Oh, I do remind one of mine, it's not all about you recently, but yeah.
Yeah, well, because, I mean, with 3 kids, Jack kind of knows that it's
right,
not all about him.
No. And so do both of mine, but I think they just get so caught up, especially once high school starts and they have this whole core group of friends and everything's about their friends. But at the same time, I try to take myself back where I was the same way. And I remember my mom giving me the same conversation. So I cut him a little slack, but I do remind him, like, this is a family. This ain't you. Like, how to fun you. Yeah.
We've gotten a lot of, well, do I have to go? Can I just stay here? I'm playing with my friends online. We get that a lot.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I know that when I was when I was 15, 14, I didn't want to go and hang with my family all the time. And so I get that. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, just stop and get in the car and shut up. Like, we're going to feed you at some point on this, and you're going to need to eat. So,
right.
Okay. People who look and live differently than you have value too.
I think we raise our kids where they already know this, where we don't need to have that lesson.
No,
I don't think it's pretty evident, and they've done service projects. They know this,
and what kind of parents have, like, not raised their kid to be at 15?
You'd be surprised.
I know.
Yeah.
I've met a couple. Teach them empathy.
Absolutely.
And I put down underneath that every damn day I teach them that. I mean, even if it's like, okay, so we've been having a problem on Thursdays because Ted brings his saxophone home and Jack runs ahead of him.
It's heavy.
And it's heavy, and
it's
Ted
big
gets
and clunky.
And Ted can't keep up with him, and so we get in the car, and Jack's like, "What took you so long, Ted?" And then we have Ted that's like, "Shut up!" And I just said, "Why can't you just walk with him? Why can't you just, like, say, hey, dude,
help him out?
Yeah,
or offer to take it if you think you can move faster with it."
Right. Like, and Jack's like, "Well, I'm not the one that decided to do band guy," and I'm like, "Oh my god!" But I noticed last Thursday he waited for Ted and he walked with Ted, and it's just like, and I've had people like they'll be walking down the hallway at the same time and he'll check him into the hallway. But then I've had people say they've seen Jack, like, making sure that Ted is behind him when they're riding their bikes to school, or Jack has 2 backpacks because
he's
Ted,
taking on his.
Yeah, he's taking on Ted. So I know that Jack does have it. It's just
right. The same with Brett too. If anything ever happened to Gabe, he'd die, but he'll act like
a brother.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, number 5. You can't force someone to like you.
Absolutely. Again.
Right.
But again,
I don't think I've had that problem yet.
We did. Gabe was trying to find his group in grade school because you know how they kind of put them all together 5th, 6th grade, and it was already an established group, and there was a leader, and Gabe wants to be the leader and wants to be part of the group. And so, yeah, believe it or not, even with boys, which was so weird to me because that was not the case with my oldest one and his friends. It was like an argument, punch you in the face, help you up, and then they were over it. This was like, what did Brett franchise them as? The Real Housewives of Frankfurt Square. Pettiness, meanness, and it's just like, you know what, dude? Not everybody's going to like you. Sometimes I don't like you. Sometimes I don't like me. Yeah. Like, so... I think they know that, but there might be situations where you need to just make them realize, like, not everybody's going to like you, and you don't have to have everybody like you, and that's okay too.
But
Because you don't like everybody.
I think this would affect Ted more because Jack is like his dad. Oh, you don't
Don't-
like me? Good. I
don't
didn't
care.
like you ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, moving on, you know.
Right.
And Ted is like me, where he'll internalize it, like, what did I do? And
Right.
why don't you like me? And then there's Hazel, who's a mixture of both. So,
Right,
and
right.
oh my God, I can't. The fourth grade drama already. I cannot even imagine what I'm going to have to deal with in
God
junior
knew
high.
I could not deal with that. I got 2 boys.
Oh
No,
my gosh.
that's enough.
Yes. Okay. Well, you're going to go through it with me because I'm
Yeah,
going to be like, Jackie,
totes.
you're not going to.
Well, I already told you what to tell her.
Right. Okay. Okay. Number 6. Don't expect instant compliance. This is hard for me because
Right.
if I say get the dishes done, I don't mean
When I read this too, I was like, no, I do want them to stop their homework and take out the garbage.
Right. Well,
because it's what I say, and that's the respect you show me, but that's how I was raised.
right. Like,
And then we're like, well, say your significant other was asking you something. Wouldn't you rather them wait till you finished and then asked you of it? And I'm like,
significant other is different than a parent, though.
I agree.
And that's why that part of the article, I was like, yeah, but I mean, if he's playing a video game, I'm like, pause it and get the dishes done.
Yeah, wait till this. I'm going to die soon. No, you're going to die now if you don't do it.
Let me pause
Yeah,
it.
no,
I
yeah.
gotta finish this quest.
Let me get past this and I'll pause it. No, I told you no.
Well, like, and he told me the other day that he had a quest to finish, and I said, your quest
Sounds
is to
like
get the goddamn dishes done.
Your
That's
problem,
your quest.
not mine. Exactly.
Right. That is your quest as an Alice child, is to get your jobs done.
As the Xbox remains unplugged, hidden in a different location for the 3rd week in a row.
Okay, number 7. Your will not always be the best way.
Your way will not always be the best way.
Yes, it is.
True, but it's my house, and that's how it's going to be, and that's how I was raised, and I think I turned out all right.
Right.
I don't think everything's up for debate. My youngest would argue with you, and sometimes I tell him he just needs to know when to STF you.
Well, and it's funny because I will like text each other back and forth. We're like, do you see Carol allowing this
Yeah.
crap in her? No, Carol would
No.
not. Like, Mom, no, I don't feel like it.
Oh, my
Your
God.
way is stupid. Just do it.
No.
Well, and I tell him all the time, like, when you get in the real world, your way still isn't your way.
No.
Like you still have to follow certain
I
rules
constantly
and
do
expectations.
things that I don't want to do or think there's a better way of doing them, but do it that way because that's the way
Yeah.
I'm told it has to be done.
Right. And that
Is life.
And that goes along with their homework. Like, Jack can
Not
make-
an option.
Right. Jack has the option of, it's due on Thursday, but I turned it in on Tuesday. I'm like, the next week? I don't get why they allow that in school.
Such BS.
But I told him, I'm like, so when you
Wait
get
till
into
high school, it's a different ballgame.
Well, that's what I told him, and that's why on Thursday we sit down and we go through all of his grades, and we tried to go through and say, hey, what's going on with this? Why is this missing?
Right.
And it'll even tell you the day that it's due. I'm like, you don't think I can't check on you, dummy? Get it done. And then there's Ted, who's like, Mom, all my homework's done. I'm like, yes.
Yes,
my-
perfect angel. I already checked on you.
Right,
Yeah.
you were checked a long time ago.
Yeah. Though everything's at your fingertips. So they have where you and I could BS your mom and dad or your mom and be like, I don't know why I'm getting a D, and wait till parent-teacher conferences. And it's like, Victoria's missing 10 out of 12 assignments. She claims they're in her locker. Yeah, that's when Rich Glass sent Maria in, and they found about 20 lunches and all undone homework.
Well, or they'll send to the progress reports in
Yeah.
the mail. My parents worked. Sorry. I stand
Never
there.
made it in the house.
Yeah, we've got it made in the shade.
Yeah.
Okay, number 8, no means no. I did like this.
Yeah.
Because across the board, no means no.
Right.
Like, even when he's hitting his, like bugging his sister and she's like, stop. I'm like, just listen to her. Stop.
I did like that on that aspect and the other, especially in this day and age and the whole
Yes.
Me Too movement and having boys,
Yes.
having sons. They need to know no means no. And
Right.
they are still so young and don't even know the situations they'll be in. And so I think it's a very important lesson. I really thought that was one of the best things in that article.
Well, and I think it's also comes for the respect they have for us.
Yes,
And,
absolutely.
And I think that's what also helps our kids is that, mom is a woman too. And
absolutely. And I think they do. They look up to us and they respect us.
Especially you, since, I mean, my kids just we have Mike and me. They just have you.
Right,
so.
right. But you're right. When your sister says, stop hitting me, it means stop. When, anybody else in life in any other situation, no means no.
Right. And I think they pretty much follow that in my house. I mean, besides torturing Hazel every once
they
in a
try
while.
to push it every now and then.
But sometimes she can be,
I get a lot of why. But why? Because I said.
I am the ruler. Okay, number 9. Your greatest conversations will happen in the car. Hands down, this was one of my favorite ones too, because even as kids, they would be like, "So, Mom, death." I'm like, "Are you like 6, 4?" And Hazel was in a car seat, so she didn't count.
Yeah.
But like the boys would constantly ask me about death, and I was like, "Why do we have to? Can we just ride to Target and not talk about death?" But
it's a good thing too to learn so young.
Yes.
And to have questions and be able to ask. But I agree. I love the car. The radio goes off. Everyone's locked in their seat, and you're not going anywhere. So some really good conversations have happened in my car.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I was thinking about it the other day. Is like I kind of miss when Jack used to go to tutoring. And it was just me in the car.
I thought about that.
Yeah. Like, and that was the time.
Because you don't have that anymore. Mm-mm. And now he's going to high school. And when this article says, what is it, 13, 14 is the age. And I'm like, you're almost there.
Yeah. And it was sad because it was like him and I would be in the car for 2 hours.
Right. Round trip.
Yeah. And if we were listening to a book, we would talk about it or... one of my favorite times was when he's like, "So, Mom, what kind of songs does Snoop Dogg play?" I'm like, "You know what? Let's channel one up." And
Too bad you didn't have Alexa then.
I know. Right? Well, I don't know. The one song I picked on, I was like, "Pandora, play," and I had Pandora, and it was like, oh my. And he looks at me, he's like, "That's a lot of bad words in one sentence." I was like, yeah, we're not gonna listen to Snoop Dogg. And so we called my brother from the phone, from the car, and I was like, "Brian, is there a song that he can listen to from Snoop Dogg?" And he's like,
hysterical.
Maybe something that was played on the radio
on the beach. Yeah.
So I do miss that, but I have that with Hazel now, and that's how we worked out her whole 4th grade drama. Is luckily it fell on a Tuesday when it happened,
right?
So we drove out to tutoring and we got to talk about it. So okay, number 10, delay their gratification. I know, it's another one of those where I'm like, common sense.
Everybody wants instant gratification, even myself. Now, I understand why you would want to teach a lesson that you have to work for something to get it, but to delay it, I don't know. That people say the reward system works a lot.
We're kind of dealing with this right now because all of his friends have this game on Steam, and he needs it. And he's like, they're all playing it, and I need it, and he's freaking out about it. And then he came out yesterday, and he's like, "All right, the last kid got it. Now I'm the only one." And I'm like, you had one job. You had one job, and that was to clean your computer room.
Oh yeah.
Go and do it. Go finish it. And you can have that tonight. And he's like, "Oh, but I need time to think about it." And so he was...
Just start.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he had started it on Sunday.
The weekend.
Yeah, he started it on the weekend. And he just hasn't finished. There's just like one pile that he has to pick up. And he just is like dragging his feet on it. And so, of course, he tells me, he's like, "Everybody, Mom." I'm like, "Well, that's great for everybody." And he's like, "Everybody didn't have to do jobs for it."
Yeah, I get that too. And I don't cave. No. You know me. I don't. Yeah. We had this conversation. No.
He still does not have the game. And the toy room still has that pile that he needs to pick up.
Again, zero Fox. Don't care. Don't care.
Okay. And then the last one. Take responsibility for your life.
Duh.
Yeah. Right. Like, get your homework done. You have dandruff. Stop it. Like,
wash your face.
right. How about shave?
Take a shower. You're 15.
Right. Oh my God. I'm like, how long have you been wearing that same outfit? Like during Christmas break, I'm like, did you shower or change your clothes at all?
Oh, yeah.
They're gross.
It smells like hell in the room.
I know. Corn chips and ass. That's what it's horrible.
It's like the silverback gorilla containment.
Right.
That's stench of BO and dirty clothes piled everywhere. Like, strip down your bed, start your laundry, and like don't get out of the shower for an hour.
Oh my!
With
well,
hot scalding water.
I think that. Well, the problem is I always tell them, I'm like, do I have to like get in the shower with you and teach you how to wash? And no, Mom, I've got this. I'm like, I will. Yeah. I'll get my bathing suit on, goggles. I'll be right in there teaching you how to rinse your damn hair. Yeah. Stop with the dandruff.
Yeah.
So.
It's funny, but I do tell, I do say a sign of maturity is recognizing and accepting what you did wrong, taking responsibility. And until you do that, in my eyes, you just aren't responsible. Like, say, no buts. Yeah. Don't be a Sandoval.
Oh, we could just sit on here and talk Bravo shows
all day.
That'll have to be a whole different show.
Oh, my goodness.
Bravo recaps on Friday. Mm-hmm. All right, people. We are out of here. We're going to go and get some beer. Because that's how we roll.
If we must.
Yes. I'm going to twist her arm. We're going to go into a brewery. Check it out. And next week, I am bringing Gail back because I feel like she was my first interview and I just asked her questions and we didn't really get to know Gail. So I messaged her this morning and I was like, hey, you're going to be on my show next week. Is that cool? So I wasn't going to announce it. But
what are you going to talk about?
We're going to talk about like her growing up, about her, she was a single mom for a while.
Perfect.
And talk about like a second marriage and then she had 2 girls.
Yeah.
So.
Combined family.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
very interesting.
Talk about being a grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Bunch of
She's a good grandma.
She's an amazing grandma. So we were going to, and well, of course we'll talk improv and tarot cards and all that other good stuff.
That's what I was hoping.
plus she got a great role in a play. So.
I saw she's going to be in a play. I saw her
it was so crazy because she sent it to me and she's like, I'm trying out for this play. I looked it up. I'm like, go for Ozella. And she's like, okay. And that's the part she got. So I'm even more excited.
Awesome.
So I'm totally going to go see her and I love watching her. She's just amazing. So thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me, friend.
Thank you for coming out in the blizzard of 2020. And
10 inches I yet to see.
There's somebody in Homewood that posted on the Homewood board. He has like a yardstick in and it's like 1 inch. Yeah. And he goes, another blizzard we survived. Yeah. So
made it.
Yes. We drove here.
I'm not complaining.
Right. I'll take a 1 inch, 2 inch, whatever. All righty. So we will see you next week. Peace, love, and cheekiness.